Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Evan Songwa. Everything we do is merely a distraction from the absurdity of our existence. We are attempting to distract ourselves from the void. And if you strip down to the basics or fundamentals, we wake up, we do tasks, we chase goals, and once we hit those goals, we just chase new goals and repeat the cycle. And underneath all of that, there is a sort of quiet and comfortable truth. We don't really know why we are here. I am a big fan of the philosopher Albert Camus. If you guys don't know, he is regarded one of the fathers of Absurdism, which is pretty much the idea that life, it is like nihilism, but nihilism is like all dreadful, but it goes beyond nihilism. So nothing matters. So absurdism is just doing whatever you want, because when you really think about it, everything kind of amounts to nothing. You can really do good at a certain things, and at the end of the day, you are gonna die one day, and everyone you know is gonna die one day, and we are all gonna be forgotten. Piecing this, it sort of keeps us from the long term thinking. So the idea we have to go through the pain and suffering, and so many devastating moments, it is like too much to comprehend. Why do we go to work every day? The novel I'm going to recommend to you this now is Stranger by Albert Camus. It's of a guy who got convicted of a crime, and on the trial, uh, the main character is being questioned, and he is completely indifferent, and he doesn't care whether he get convicted. He doesn't care about anything. He's just so blind, straightforward, and about everything all, to a point where it is so wrong that it makes other people so uncomfortable, and they're like, why does this guy doesn't care? That is the realest way you can treat any legal situation. Definitely, one day I will never be here, so it doesn't make sense to have anxiety about what everything about a lot of things. Work is essentially structured instructions. Career is just they give you a sense, a false sense of identity. What is sad is going that as time is going on, and you're a fan of my channel as time goes on, you know how I feel about this. You are going to recognize that there is no purpose really, and the idea is still there. I'm doing something with my day. I'm checking out recording this video, but honestly it quantifies existence to productivity. We have been brainwashed by hustle culture, but deeper than that, if you're busy, then our brain is occupied, as opposed to asking the existential question about life. So in promotions, monetize these things, they give you a false sense of meaning, but only within the system they are configured in with. So if you're outside the system, it doesn't really matter. One one thing I was talking about with my friend is that a couple of months back, it is crazy to think about how, let's say you on an individual scale are so concerned about all the aspects of this one job and all the aspects related to completing that job, but there is another world where you are living in a different era, you have a different job, but your life is completely different, and you are not worried about these things. But these things will belong with or without you. Absurdism is taking this concept like we are an individual, not from a mass existential. I don't know if I'm making sense. Let's think about Elon Musk. No one watches most of my videos, but I do exist, and I do live, and I am a person. So does it fucking matter if people watch me or don't watch me? Does it fucking matter if I make this video or I don't? Does it matter if I die today or I don't? If nothing matters, I'm gonna actually do a video soon, recommending books for you guys. Like I just been reading. I'm so much into philosophy, as you guys know. All of these books that I read, there must be a common theme of philosophy, where every philosopher from all different cultures in life, they all tackle the same idea. Why is it that we are here? What are we doing here? This goes back to someone who studies the vast majority of philosopher. This that's to the ancient philosopher, to the ancient Greeks, the Athens, the Plato, Socrates, the Aristotle. They were like, they believe that mankind naturally is drawn to the idea of God, but they also tackle the idea of like God being like the universe. So Plato pretty much believed that, I don't know if it is Plato, but I believe that the universe and the world just always existed. It is the alpha and the omega. It isn't born by time, and there's no conception point to it. And I find this so fascinating, because if you really dig into science, you realize that there really makes no sense. There are inevitably answers that cannot be a question that cannot be answered, which are limited by human consciousness. And if you are conscious and you believe that the universe really exists, then you'll be able to ask some questions. Where did the universe start? Where did the universe start? And that begs the question that you have to have a question and believe that to explain this, that so in in everything that happens, no matter how you look at the world, what is the reason we're here? We use entertainment as an escape. You watching this video is like an escape. That is the irony of it. People do endless of things, binge gaming. It is not just mind generation. It's just this young generation, but the older generation. They are all watching this to as a form as escapism from the asking the existential questions why we are here. Even productivity, it is the same thing. Back in a day, if you used to exercise, that is the thing that you will be doing, exercising. But right now, while you're exercising, you put on your headphones. Actually, I'm putting my headphones on because I don't want to hear my own voice, because I don't like listening to myself. The repercussions of this, number one, we don't really know the effect is, because this technology that we have, this internet technology, it hasn't been here for a while, and we don't know the repercussions. What will our lives be like without it? That is what our generation don't even really comprehend, don't even really get to understand. The moment there's nothing stimulating us, existential thoughts creep in, and that is like, it is pretty much horrifying, in brutally honest. You see, we start to look for relationships and validations, and entertainment, attention. They are all anchoring us. And because most people are afraid of the truth, and a lot of the truth is that when we are, what we seek for in a relationship is not often the value of the benefit of the relationship itself, but it is because we don't want to be lonely, you know. And I'm not sure if this is true universally. I'll have to think about it. But at least in my case, I just know that most relationships, they seek validation. They don't want to be alone. Essentially, if you're forced to think about your existence and your existentialism, you often seek people not for connection, but we don't really care about them in terms of what it is that who they are, but it is like what they can do for us. We don't want we want to avoid to be alone with our own thoughts. I hope you have a nice time. Peace out.